everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button because you'll find new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I absolutely love Valentine's Day, and I actually have a playlist, and I'll link that down in the description box, to a playlist with lots more Valentine's Day inspiration. And today I'm bringing you 3 more Dollar Tree DIYs, and we're going to be creating some farmhouse style Valentine's decor that is so super simple and easy. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this first project is so inexpensive. You get a whole bag, this one says a 10 count, of these faux moss stones, as they're called, from Dollar Tree, and they're basically just made out of styrofoam and then they're covered with moss. So I thought, how cute would these be if we sort of rolled them and trained them to look like little hearts for Valentine's Day. So I'm just going to use my hands, and I also have a paintbrush here so I can kind of make the little dip that's at the top of a heart, and we're just going to transform these little stones into Valentine's Day hearts. Alright, so here's a close-up of my cute little moss heart. I just kind of pinched the bottom and then used my paintbrush to make an indentation at the top. I kind of used the natural shape of this stone to figure out what was going to be my top and bottom. Since it was more tall and skinny, I kept the heart that shape as well, and it sort of just came together. So I'm going to make several more of these, and then they'd be a cute little bowl filler. And this next project, we're going to make a countdown till Valentine's Day sign. So this piece is from the Dollar Tree as a cute little heart that pops out. I also have 3 different kinds of paint. I have white and gray chalk paint. This is in the color Elephant by Waverly, which you can find at Walmart. I believe this is from Walmart too. It's actually chalkboard paint. And then I have foam paintbrushes, one for each one of those colors, as well as a decal, and I'll tell you a little bit about this after we get our sign painted. Alright, so for this piece here, I want to give it that farmhousey look, so I'm going to do a faux weathered wood look on this, and then the heart is going to get the chalkboard paint. So I'll probably put 2 coats of chalkboard paint on the heart, and then for this, I'm going to start with the gray chalk paint, give that 1 coat of that, and then I'll come back in and do sort of a layered finish with my white chalk paint, and then I will kind of walk you through how to do that layering process. Alright, so this gray is all dry now, and now I can layer on my white paint to give it that rustic wood old look. So you just want to use your white chalk paint and kind of wipe a lot of it off of your paintbrush, because like I said, we're going to do this in layers, so you don't want to start with a heavy layer. You're just going to take your brush and sort of wipe it on back and forth, rub it in. And I really want this frame to be mostly white because we're going to be adding a white decal to this, and you want to be able to see the decal. So if you put the black on the gray, it's not going to stand out as much as if you put it on the white. So this first layer I am going to kind of put on a little bit light, and then come back and add more here and there where I feel like it needs it. All right, so I did end up adding 4 coats of the chalkboard paint to this heart, and now our frame is all dry. And now I'm gonna add my decal. So I'm using Oracle number 651 matte black vinyl. I will put that in the description box if you wanna check that out. I have it in my Amazon favorite store. So if you don't have a vinyl machine, you can do 2 things. You can either use a Sharpie and just write it on yourself, or I will have these in my Etsy shop, which is crossinmyheart.com. I will link that down in the description box, and it will come just like this, ready to go. You can just peel it off and stick it on there. If you do have a vinyl cutter, I made mine 3 1/4 inches square. So 3 1/4 inches tall by 3 1/4 inches wide, which seemed to be a good size for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my decal onto the frame. So if you are new to vinyl decals and you order from my shop, they will come, like I said, ready to go, just like this. So you take something hard and you run it along the top. It's gonna peel away from a paper backing, and it will transfer onto this sticky clear transfer sheet on the top. You may have to go back and push some down if it doesn't come up all the way, so make sure you take your time, go slowly. You want a really nice, clean transfer. So here's what it looks like once it peels off with the transfer sheet, and then you just apply it to the surface of your project. So I'm gonna kind of line mine up with the heart and kind of center it with the heart. Just kind of eyeball it. You could take a ruler and get really precise with it and make sure it's even, but usually you can eyeball it pretty well, and it does pretty good. So once you have it where you want it, then you just take your either a credit card, a old gift card, you can take a popsicle stick, and you just press down on that top transfer sheet. Make sure you get all the air bubbles out. And then you're gonna peel and lift up one of the corners and peel slowly away from your project. And that should leave your vinyl adhered to your sign or your frame. Now, if you have anything that might happen to come back up as you're peeling away, relay down the transfer sheet, rub it again, and then you can peel again until you get a nice, clean, transferred decal. So now that I have my frame ready to go, all I have to do is add my chalkboard heart back in place, and it's ready to go. And for this last project, we're gonna make a book page heart wreath. So this is from Dollar Tree. It just says that it's a heart wreath form. It's a wire one. And then also 2 books from the Dollar Tree. I wasn't sure how many pages I would need, so I grabbed 2 of those. So I'll let you know once I get this finished how many pages it took. I also have my hot glue gun, glue sticks, scissors, and a straight edge, which I'm gonna use to cut the pages out. But if that doesn't work well, that's why I have the scissors on hand. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is use my razor blade to cut the pages out of the book. All right, so I started by cutting about 200 pages out of the book. I really think that's gonna be more than plenty. I also ended up using my scissors. I was able to cut through lots more at one time that way. However, it did make the pages skinnier this way. You can get up much more close to the spine of the book and get a much larger sheet of paper if you use a razor blade like I started with. However, use whatever you have on hand and whatever is easier for you. And now I want to go ahead and start getting the paper ready to add to the wreath. And what we need to do is actually take one of your book pages and you're going to cut it in half. So now we have two pieces. And just for reference, my sheets are about 5 inches wide by 8 inches long. You know, if you're going to be using smaller books, you may just need to cut more sheets out. But I think size-wise, this is a great size for this. And now we need to fold our paper basically so that it looks like a necktie or the back of a necktie. So to do that, you just turn your paper so it's a diamond shape. You're going to take one corner and fold it into the side, into the middle, and then you're going to take this other corner and fold it into the middle. So basically we have a necktie shape. And the first place we're going to add this to is the middle top here of the wreath. And that's going to give us a nice solid base to sort of work off of. So to do this, I'm just going to wrap the sheet of paper around the top, and I'm going to put some hot glue here. I'm also going to add some hot glue on these points here on the wreath just to hold the paper down. And now it's up to you whether you want to fold a bunch and then add them to the wreath, or if you want to fold and then add to the wreath as you go. I think I'm going to go ahead and just fold up a bunch, that way I can add and glue all at the same time. So now that I have lots of them all folded up, we also are going to fold the top point down, and that way it's going to keep our folds in place. And we're going to start building off this middle book page that we started. We're going to put some going this way, and we're going to put some going this way, and we're going to work around each side, and then they'll meet down here in the middle again, just like we have the top. And all you have to do is hot glue onto each page as you overlap them, and add and build and add as many as you want. Make it more full. You can make it more simple looking, completely up to you, but that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll speed this up now so you can see how my wreath comes together. So I got through my first set of folded little book pages and just wanted to sort of take a second to show you what I have going on here so you can see how I'm just building it up. I started with that centerpiece in the middle, and that gave me a base to where I could hot glue each page onto, and then I've been adding them underneath instead of on top, because if you add the triangles on top, you're just covering up what is underneath it. So if you go underneath, you sort of build up and move down. I've just been making sure that I follow the shape of the wreath, so my points kind of go with the way the metal on the wreath is, so that way I get that heart shape. I'm going to continue around this way to the bottom, and then I will start on this side and come around to the bottom. All right, so I added all of the pages to it. I did want to show you the top up here. I folded a even smaller triangle because this piece and this piece kind of came together in the middle with a fold, and so I wanted to cover that up, so I just folded a even smaller book page triangle and then just wrapped it around the top there. That way there wasn't a weird transition. And now what I'm going to do is just flip it over, add a ton of hot glue to the back to make sure all these pages stay in place. I hope that these super quick and easy DIYs inspired you. Please take a second and give this video a thumbs up for me. And let me know down in the comments below, how do you celebrate Valentine's Day? My kiddos are 13 and 6, and for as long as I can remember, of course, I have been the classroom mom, and I so much enjoy going into their classes on Valentine's Day to participate in their parties. My daughter's a little bit too old now to have Valentine's Day parties, but my son, who is in 1st grade, is really just getting started with them, so that's where I will be this Valentine's Day. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button next to me. You'll find more great Valentine's Day inspiration in the link below that, and make sure to come find me on Facebook and on Instagram, and I will have lots more ideas for you there. Thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.